What's going on, everybody? Dr. from Average Gamer Guys. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me. Something a little bit different today. We're going to talk about and do kind of a little review of World War Z. It's a new game. It's been getting a lot of hype recently, and I've picked it up, me and Sloth, and we've really started to enjoy it. So I want to cover it today. I'm going to talk about the co-op campaign, multiplayer, all the different stuff inside of it. So sit back, relax. If you have any questions, I definitely want to hear any questions you have if you've been thinking about picking it up. And are just not sure. Would love to chat with you guys in the comments. And if you have picked it up, let me know. And let me know what you think down below. So we're going to jump in. We're going to first talk about the co-op campaign. This is a campaign that you can play both online and offline. Online is with yourself and 3 additional people. Offline, you can play by yourself with 3 AI characters. They're actually pretty good. I've played quite a few of these missions offline, and it's a good way to kind of level up and get some of the initial experience out of the way. What I just showed you there's 5 different difficulties, so it's pretty good. It lets you kind of rank the difficulty up, and the higher difficulty you go, the more experience you get, the more crafting materials you get, and stuff like that. Overall for the game, it's not super long. I will tell you that up front. It is 4 different episodes, each with a couple of different missions, but the game is not about the story specifically. It's about repetition. It's about leveling up your character, and it's just about getting better. So what I really want to show you where I think this game really flourishes is its class system and its weapon upgrade system. So each class, there is 6 total here. It can go up to level 30. You gain experience just through playing the game. Completing missions is the way you gain character experience, and then at the end of each mission you get what I call crafting materials. You get materials which allow you to pick up and buy special skills as you level up. Level ups seem to be going pretty quick. I haven't put a ton of time in the game. As of recording this, I'm level 7 on my gunslinger, and I've probably played through just a few missions, to be honest with you. What's really cool about this system is you can see there's ranks and rows of 3 different skills. Basically, as you level up, you get the opportunity to buy those skill sets, and 1 skill out of each row of 3 you can actually equip to improve your character, and you can do that with all the different characters. It's really neat. There are like special skills every 5 levels, which or every 10 levels, which are kind of special skills that help you. But it's a really neat character progression system, and it feels really good. It flows really smooth, and the experience lines up really well, in my opinion. In addition to getting character experience by completing missions, by getting kills with each different specific weapon, you actually gain weapon experience as well. And what it allows you to do, there's 5 levels per weapon for the majority of them. Some heavy weapons and some other weapons don't, but there's 5 levels per weapon for just about all of them, and it's a very similar progression system. So as you get kills with the weapons, you get experience for them. As you level up, you get the ability to modify those weapons again. And what's really cool about this game, I think this is a positive and a negative at the same time. It's a positive because you don't have to buy each individual level as you go through it. So if you get a weapon to level 3, instead of having to buy level 2 and then buy level 3, you can instead just jump straight to level 3, get all the perks that's associated with it, and your weapon's that much better. What I like about that system is if there's a weapon that you're just using sporadically and you're just trying to get it leveled up, you don't have to spend the currency to get some of the lower end tiers. Now, from a progression standpoint, it feels a little weird, right? That's not normal. Usually you can't just skip over something. You usually have to purchase it first, but it is the way the system runs. I like the customization both with the weapons and with the characters in this. Definitely the characters and their skill sets, especially as you get going, they're significant and they're really good. There's a lot of team stuff inside of it that makes it a lot of fun. The weapons, it's obviously cool to get some of these weapons really customized. And there's a good variance of weapons inside of the game. You get a primary and a secondary that you can pick up. You start with one of each, and there's just a ton of stuff strewn throughout the mission, each different level as you go, and they're all vary. But what's cool is if you pick up one of the tier 3 weapons, for instance, whatever modifications it has on it, that's will be what you end up picking up. So it's really cool. That character customization and class customization actually goes over into the multiplayer as well. So not only is there co-op online and regular offline, just kind of single story campaign, there's also a multiplayer aspect to it, which has a couple of different modes that you're probably familiar with. And inside of that, there's the different classes that you can actually use, and by getting kills and getting experience and playing the game, you're going to be able to level those characters up as well, which is really neat. Again, it kind of melds the best of, online and offline multiplayer and the character customization system together. So I really like it. And again, some stuff you're familiar with a kind of a little bit of a different twist, considering this is a zombie survival game. You got Domination, King of the Hill, Deathmatch, Scavenge Raid, and Vaccine Hunt. All stuff if you've played Call of Duty or really any other shooter you'll be familiar with. The difference is in the Swarm Deathmatch and the Swarm Domination, they actually throw waves of zombies at you that will target anybody. They're not team specific. It adds a different layer to it. You get additional experience for killing them, so it's pretty neat. In addition, there's a bunch of different characters to play through the different episodes. You can collect, I'll say collect, but you can play through each of them. Once you play through and complete a mission with them, you get to see their backstory, and you get to get a little bio behind them. So that's kind of the story aspect to it. The episodes are kind of like mini stories all kind of strewn together, so you can see how that kind of progresses in the falls of certain cities and stuff like that, which is kind of neat. But I like the ability to go in, especially see the character bios, because they have put some time into them, and it kind of gives you a little bit better connection. I like that you got to kind of go through and unlock them. And then what you just saw there that I showed you a little bit was just the you have the opportunity inside your collection to go see all the different weapons. It doesn't talk through the different changes to their characteristics, but you can see just all the different weapons inside of the game. So what I'm going to do here is actually just show off some gameplay. If you've been researching this game a little bit, you've probably seen some of it. I'm going to do an offline match here, which again, as soon as I'm readied up, is going to throw me into a match. I'm going to pick up, and we're just going to go through it. Like I said, it gives you an opportunity at the beginning of the match, and you can roll through the matches in succession. Gives you an opportunity to change your class, go in, do any upgrades, or pick up anything you want. That's really helpful, especially if you get a team online. Say you queue up with a friend, and there's two other friends inside of there or whatever, or people that join you, and that team ends up being really good. So you communicate well, you play the game really well, you can stick with them inside the same lobby, and it gives you plenty of time, about a minute or so, once everybody's readied up, to still go in, change your class, change your customization, do any weapon upgrades and things that you need to do. So I like that. The pacing of it seems really good. As far as graphics and detail, the game's really well. The sound, I think, is one of the better things inside of the game. And just from a gameplay perspective, it's just a ton of fun. Like I said, all of the missions are different. They definitely give a lot of variance inside of the mission, what you have to do. A lot of them are progressed from point A to point B, which is not a bad thing. And then they throw little stuff inside of it. There's a mission where later on you have to kind of protect a moving bus. So the moving bus will kind of go along. It gets stuck or stopped at certain points. And when it does that, you have to protect it from swarms of zombies. Zombies are very consistent in this game. That's one of the most impressive things I've seen with this game, is their ability to throw just hundreds and hundreds of zombies at you at once. And there's no performance loss, nothing lags, nothing goes crazy. It's really, really neat to be able to see that, because it's not an experience we've gotten before. The other thing that I like about this game is it does give you kind of an option to do a little bit of like what I would call stealth gameplay, at least in some initial areas. So zombies are attracted by sound. Most people will start with a silenced pistol as their secondary. So if you have a good team of 4 that you're working with, you can absolutely do some stealth gameplay and move through the area. And then it changes once you go about and actually use your first unsilenced weapon and cue the zombies in. Then things start really rolling. It's pretty neat. You saw the first weapon pick up there. That kind of stuff is just all over the game. Weapons are strewn about. There's little kind of secrets and hidden things inside of it. So you can find like breaching charges and open up areas for additional weapon pickups, additional equipment. That's the other thing. There's definitely kind of a base defense type strategy for some of the defense areas inside of this, which is really, really neat. So it's kind of layered up. There's also special zombies. There's a couple of them which provide additional a little bit of a challenge. I would call them kind of like mini boss zombies. Some of them are easier and harder than others. The one picking this guy up and repeatedly slamming him into the ground right now is one of the tougher ones, I would say. He's pretty rough. But there's definitely a lot of team aspect that goes on here. You can't usually save yourself from something like that. There are special heavy weapons that you can pick up as well, which I'm doing here. So there's just a lot of different layers to this game that I was kind of expecting picking it up, to be honest, that it would be really simplistic at first. You know, fight zombies, do that, whatever the case may be, shoot a bunch of them, level your character up a little bit, and I was not expecting as much customization and as much just variance that we get inside of the game. So it's really, really neat. Like I said, all the weapons feel great. There's a lot of variants for those. There's a lot of different ones. So if you've got a certain specific play style, you can play that way. And again, as you level up the characters, that's what I'm most excited for, is leveling up the characters, giving additional perks not only to myself but also to my teammate, is really fun. And then building a cohesive team, again, anytime you get multiple classes, it gives you the option and the capability to go in, and if you again have 3 other people that you can play this game with, it's really beneficial. You can really set up a really solid team. So as I kind of talk through this, hopefully you get a good instance of some of the gameplay. There's a lot of interactions, a lot of different things here. We're escorting this doctor to go through this area. We're going to clear out this initial area, and then we're going to fight off one of the first wave system type things. I think that's one of the only things I wish was inside of this game, and I would love to see an update to this game that maybe brings in a just kind of like a wave system, almost like Gears of War, where they do kind of like a horde wave system. That would be absolutely awesome in this, if you could just do pure survival. I think that's one of the few things that's missing for me right now, is to be able to go do a co-op and just let me just constantly be able to fight zombies. The whole system about finding weapons and then reloading your weapons and gear. Again, there's tons of gear strewn about everywhere. You saw I just used a breaching charge there. I'm going to open up. This is some of the kind of defense equipment that I'm going to be able to set up, so you can really strategize and pick where you want to put certain defenses, especially as you play the levels more and more. It gives you a good idea of where to put some of this stuff down, where it's going to be the most effective, and I really like that. And a lot of it you can use interaction throughout the what I would call kind of the swarm waves that you end up running into. So tons of fun. The other best part, in my opinion, about this game is that it's not full cost. I think it ends up being $40, which for kind of coming out of nowhere and being a pretty well put together series is really good. Really well put together game. Definitely worth, in my opinion, the $40 if you decide to pick it up. Like I said, the one thing I would definitely recommend is talk to a couple friends. This game is definitely a lot more fun with people that you know. The AI is more than capable of helping you out and handling whatever comes across. If you end up playing a lot offline, I do just the kind of grind experience. But definitely jumping in online, playing some of the missions with a team of 4 total would be really, really fun. And then here we go. We're jumping into the first, again, kind of swarm I would talk about. It's really, really neat to see, and hopefully I can show it off here. You see the zombies kind of piling up, and you get the opportunity, if you mow down the baseline of them, they all fall down. It's really cool. It's little mechanics like that. It's little stuff inside of the game that makes it a ton of fun. And these are some of the most fun moments right here. You can just see just the hundreds of zombies that are going to start flowing through onto the screen at different points. They attack multiple points, so it's really, really neat. Overall, definitely recommend this game. It really did kind of come out of nowhere. It's very loosely based on World War Z, the book, which is just a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, definitely go out and give it a read. It's a ton of fun. It's also loosely based, I would say, on the movie. The movie didn't do as well with Brad Pitt, but was still a pretty good experience. I think this game is definitely better than the movie, and just a ton of fun. Something to definitely mix up the monotony or whatever you're playing, whether it be just grinding out Rocket League or Call of Duty or whatever it ends up being, Apex, this is a good variance, good mix up, and just a good experience overall. Ton of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, let me know. More than happy to do some more game reviews as we pick some stuff up. Definitely try to keep our pulse and our eye on the different fun experiences that we have out there, and this is definitely one of them. And like I said, if you are thinking about picking it up, by all means, please shoot me a couple of questions down below if there's anything that you want me to cover that I didn't inside of this, but hopefully it was a good look for you. If you are playing the game and need any tips or help with any of this, we'll definitely look at and see what kind of achievements there are, see if there's any achievement guides that we can do. I know me and Sloth were talking about maybe putting some up for this as well, so let me know down in the comments below, and hopefully you're having, whatever day this is, hopefully you're having a good day. If it's on the weekend, hopefully you're having a good weekend. I've been Doc from Average Gamer Guys. As always, thank you so very much. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.